Hey everybody out there in the comic book community world, internet world, and YouTube world, and welcome back to another weekly comic book rundown. And this is your weekly rundown of the comic books coming out in whichever week we're in. And the week we're in this week is February 22nd, 2012. We've got not too much coming out of the independents this week. The biggest one is Image with 7 comics. The big two, of course, are called the big two for a reason. We got 19 comics coming out of Marvel and only 15 comic books coming out from DC. Very surprising, but then again, we have an extra Wednesday this month, so maybe we're going to see a couple of extra books being pushed into the 5th week of this month. We'll see with the pre-order list this Wednesday what's going to be coming out. And unfortunately, we are shooting this early in the morning on Monday, President's Day, because Mike is okay now, but first of all, I have to go to bed early tonight for work, and second of all, Mike can't stay up too late because he's not feeling too good and he's got to get better. So since we're both up this morning, we decided to do it. So the unfortunate part is Cody Toxity is once again not present with us. I highly doubt he's up this early, honestly. So anyway, we're going to switch off Mike and myself like last time. This time we're going to try to change it up a bit. I hate to give you guys a long intro. We're going to change it up a bit. It was suggested to us from a comic book mom, and it was actually suggested to me through other messages, that we not just talk about the cover, but we talk about the writers and artists that are in the book, because that might help people better know, to get to know the book. Like certain people prefer certain writers, certain artists. So we're going to give that a try this week, because instead of rambling on about a cover, about a book we don't know about, maybe we'll talk about the writers, or it'll give us something to talk about with the book. So Mike is going to be doing this week Dark Horse and Boom Studios. He's going to be kicking this rundown off, because Dark Horse and Boom Studios only have 2 apiece. So Mike, without further ado, and if you can't do it, you tell me and I'll take over. Start us off with Dark Horse this week.
Alright, well, without no fever running me down, let's go. Okay. First off, we got Dark Horse Presents number 9, written by Paul Pope and art by Paul Pope again, and also Mike Mignola. And I've heard lots of things about this comic book.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been like going around that many people have been reading about this, and some say it's kind of interesting.
Well, cover looks interesting, and looks like the Grim Reaper has just, if that is a Grim Reaper, by the way, yeah, cards of justice and whatnot, and yeah.
Yep. Alright, next and last for this week from Dark Horse is Star Wars Dark Times Out of the Wilderness number 4, which was written by Mick Harrison and art by Douglas Wheatley.
It's a nice name, Wheatley.
Yeah, Wheatley is a nice name. And if it's a Star Wars comic book, guys, I mean,
it's got a beautiful cover.
It does have a beautiful cover, and it must have a wonderful story to it, because you actually...
Wonderful wouldn't be a word, but a good story to it.
Yeah, because you've read the Star Wars comic books, and...
I'm reading 2 series right now, actually, yes.
Exactly, so if anybody out there who's a Star Wars fan and wants to pick up this comic book, you should right
it's funny,
there.
The character in this book is called Falco Sang.
Falco Sang. Kind of Star Fox, pretty much, right?
Yeah, with this thing where we're telling you guys about the writers and artists, we also get the description. It would take way too long to talk about the description, though. Alright, so...
Yeah. And that's all from Dark Horse, but going out of Dark Horse, now we go into Boom Studio. And starting off from Boom Studio is Incorruptible number 27, written by Mark Waid and art by Marcio Takara, Gary Brown, and Matteo Scalera.
I don't know, guys. If we pronounce the names wrong, we're sorry, but, we try our best. And Mark Waid is a big writer, so...
Yeah. Now, what I have to say, though, the color and the cover... I mean, it kind of...
it's ending. Incorruptible and Irredeemable, I believe both are ending.
Yeah, I mean the cover kind of is a little bit too like colorful. I mean they could have like put more color into it rather than
It's very
just
pink, in my opinion. Very pink.
Pink would also be a great term also to use for that. But anything you gotta say or no?
Very pink, really. That's about it. The most talk I have is for when it's the big two or a book I'm reading in the Independent or IDW. Right now, I have nothing.
And last but certainly not least from Boom Studio is...
oh, wait a minute. Oopsie.
oh, whoops.
That's a Midtown. Never mind.
Oh,
There's
never
only one
mind
for
there.
Boom Studio.
Heh. Sorry guys, so yeah, that's all from Boom Studio this week. So now I'll pass on to my brother Chris, where he will discuss this week's comics of IDW.
Thank you, Mike. And we are now in IDW. I'm really slowly starting to love this company a lot more than the New 52. Anyway, first off from IDW is Cobra number 10, written by Mike Costa and art by Alex Cal, Antonio Fusco, and Dave Wilkins.
Or Fusso.
Fusco, whatever.
Tomatoes.
Fusso, yeah. Cobra Command Part 6, the Civil War in Cobra. Honestly got nothing. It's a nice cover, though. Very nice cover.
And lots of reputations that this cover's been getting with, lots of rumors, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up we have Danger Girl Revolver number 2, written by Andy Hartnell, and art by Chris Madden and J. Scott Campbell.
Ah.
J. Scott Campbell. And that is a very...
Can this be thrown in as a giggity yay or giggity nay?
This could be thrown in as a giggity shut up, Mike. Okay. Moving along to Godzilla Legends number 4, written by Chris Mowry, and artist by E.J. Sue, Arthur Adams, and Chris Scalf. Hey, look, Mike. It's a tentacle monster. Or an octopus monster, or a mud monster.
Whatever monster it is,
It's in black and white.
Well, that's one scary looking creature, I'd say.
Oh yeah, that's a very scary looking creature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up, Infestation number 2, Dungeons and Dragons number 2, written by Paul Crilly, and art by Valero Skiddy, and I don't know what Meton 10 is, 3. Meton 3. Infestation's been going pretty okay. The Dungeons and Dragons is definitely the weaker of the 4.
Really?
2-part series. Yeah, so far it's the weaker of the 2. I forgot it was Star Trek. Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No. The old one was Transformers, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, and G.I. Joe.
Right.
And it turned out that which one was the weaker one?
Was
Transformers, I think, was the weaker.
Was it G.I. Joe? Because I know it wasn't Ghostbusters.
It might have been G.I. Joe.
I think it was G.I. Joe because they were getting their own title, I think.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, Dungeons and Dragons definitely is the weaker, because if you haven't been reading Dungeons and Dragons, you're not going to know the characters, and it might be a little bit more difficult, in my opinion, for you to enjoy it. I still enjoyed it, but at the same time, there were gaps. Okay, next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 7, written by Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman, of course, and art is by Dan Dukin, and it says Dan Dukin again. I guess he's the colorer and the artist. Cover looks really nice, except for some weird reason. Why do the Ninja Turtles look very, very thin?
Yeah, and they look like they're...
The cover's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like samurais more than ninjas.
Yeah.
In the way the cover looks. But all in all, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, issues have been going phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Exactly, so...
Over the
the
hook, fantastic. So I would say absolutely you should be checking that series out. Okay, next we have Transformers Robots in Disguise, written by John Barber, and art by Andrew Griffin, Cassie Collar, and Andrew Griffith.
And it's the second issue.
And the series was, wow. I'm being honest with you guys, I wasn't for this series at first, but slowly I just came into the series, and it's just like, okay, I like it.
You know, it takes time to, you know, like first see the comic and then, you know, then you get your opinion on it. But yeah, Transformers. Good.
Really good. That's really all that can be said about it. And I believe with that we are done with IDW. And I will now pass it over to Michael, once again, who will be doing Dynamite, which has 5 books.
Alright, thank you, Chris. Alright, starting with Dynamite is Jennifer Blood, number 9, which is written by Al Ewing and art by Keeber Bile. Or Bale. Ball.
Bale.
Bile.
Whatever. B-A-A-L. There you go.
Yeah, and, she looks like she means
business. You'd love to wake
business.
up to that, Michael. You know you would.
Not if there's gonna be a gun in front of my face, but then another way. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So, Jennifer Blood
Number 9. Looks interesting.
very interesting indeed. Alright, next is Jim Butcher's Dresden Files Full Moon, number 5. And this comic was written by Jim Butcher and Mark Powers, and art by Chase Conley.
Ooh.
He reminds me of Doctor Strange, this cover.
A little bit.
A little bit, not saying...
He's a wizard.
A wizard.
He looks like a wizard.
Or he could be something else magical under there.
Maybe he's a magical fairy.
Yeah, well, we won't go into that.
No, we're not.
But, it looks pretty interesting. I'd check it out.
Doctor Strange in Jim Butcher's world.
Alright, next is Alpha and Omega Cry Wolf number 5. And this was written by Patricia Briggs and art by Todd Herman.
Not to be confused with Pee Wee Herman, I'm sure.
No. But, wow.
That's a new word for tangled up.
Or tied up, so to say.
Yeah.
Something looks like...
Mike, you're getting a little too...
No, I said, like something's going on here.
You're sick, relax yourself.
What, do you think every time I say something it's sick?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, you know.
No.
Let's just go on to the next cover,
Yes.
huh? Alright, next is Red Sonja, number 64. Which is written by Eric Trutman and art by Walter Giovanni.
Ooh. I like the cover.
Very green,
Interesting.
though.
Why do you pay attention to the most...
But, however, looking over the color...
Hey, Cody, you got a green cover coming for you?
But overlooking that, this does look like...
They're wizards!
Well, they're wizards. But... more than that, lots of powers and mystic stuff going on here.
That's because they're wizards.
Are you gonna stop with the wizards, and are we gonna...
They're fairies.
Without the fairies and wizards and junk and all that other stuff, let's go on to the next cover.
I believe the last.
And is it the last?
Yes.
Yes, and last... from there is Red Sonja Witchblade number 1. Written by Doug Wagner and art by Cesar Raznik and Ali Garcia. Or Garza. Yeah. I don't know. It's black and white and very sketchy.
Actually, that's the cover.
Oh. Wrong cover. Ah, now there's color right there.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Very...
You were looking at the black and white variant.
Yes, I was.
We're not putting that on the rundown. It's going to be in color.
Yeah, but very interesting looking. And Witchblade and Red Sonja, 2 for the price of 1. Let's see what happens there.
Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed.
Yes. And that's all from Dynamite. So now I'll pass on to my brother Chris, where he will do Image Comics.
Alright guys, we're now in Image Comics, and there's approximately 7, no, there are 7 comics in this run, so let's not waste any time. First off is The Bulletproof Coffin Disinterred number 2. Written by David Hine, and art by Shaky Kane. Shaky Kane. Does that mean he's a shaky man?
I do not know, but
looks like the Joker with a cigarette and a weird hat with a beard.
Yeah, I'd say so. Or just, yeah, that just doesn't look like a great situation there. I have nothing to say.
Well, the big
really.
words say Tales from the Haunted Jazz Club.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, if he's pale and haunted, ooh, you know.
Moving on. Issue number 24. Written by John Layman and art by Rob Galore.
Yeah.
Looks very...
I have no idea what's going on here.
Oh, it looks like he's making it out of wood. He's making that girl out of wood, baby.
Okay. Now I see it.
Interesting, weird, but interesting.
Yep.
Major League Chew Part 4 this is. Which is the story arc, Major League Chew. Okay. Anyway, moving along. Little Depressed Boy number 9, written by S. Stephen Scribble, and art by Sina Grace.
It's,
Welcome to the working week.
yeah, that is something that...
It's very depressing. Everybody's walking in one direction, he's walking in the opposite direction. I know how you feel.
Yep, it's like not fitting in with people, and that's depressing.
I thought comic books were supposed to make people feel uppity. Anyway, no, I don't know. I don't read the comics. I don't know. Alright, we have a number 1 coming out this week. Because next up, Mondo. Number 1. Written by Ted McKever and also drawn by Ted McKever. And,
doesn't it remind you of Incredible Hulk?
a wee bit.
Yeah, but big muscles mean big business.
Yes. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, next we have Morning Glories number 16, written by Nick Spencer and art by Joe Isma.
Okay. Very realistic. But also, in a way, it looks like something that you would see on Law and Order. More or less.
Absolutely.
Looks interesting.
Very. Next, a comic I missed out on, and hopefully they'll make a second printing of it. No Place Like Home. Issue 1, written by Angelo Tiroto and drawn by, and art by Richard Jordan. I wasn't interested in it. I skipped over it, but I didn't read the description, which everybody who orders comics online should, because the description actually helps out more than if you're in the store, because you actually have the description. And it's some type of a twisted Alice in Wonderland thing. I would have gotten that, and I would have grabbed that Peter Pan one that everybody's talking about, Peter, from last week, that I was interested in.
Also, do you notice in the cover that it's
a bit of a sexual cover, though, I will say that.
I know, but if you notice, they always have to be standed out with the name going across, whether it be across the head, across the chest. It's like, it's got to stand out somewhere. That's what they're doing in comics lately. So I've seen. I'm not saying for sure.
Oh, yeah. And finally this week from Image and leaving Independence after this, Prophet, number 22, written by Brandon Graham and art by Simon Roy. Very nice cover. Not much else I can say about it. What do you think, Mike?
It looks very, not prehistoric, but it looks very
purple.
purple, but also in a way of how they're going to get out of there with those things, those mystical creatures in the way. That's all I gotta say.
All right, and that concludes the Independents. That concludes Image. I will now pass it back to Michael, who will take us through Marvel, and then I will, I guess, conclude with DC. So go ahead,
All right,
Mike.
thank you, Chris.
Take us through Marvel. And for the third time, I feel like I'm looking at this cover.
All right, we're gonna start off with Marvel with Avengers Academy number 26, written by Christoph Ngagi.
Christos.
Yeah, Ngagi, and art by Tom.
Engage.
And art by Tom Rani. Rani?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, good. I really don't know what to say for this cover because, like Chris said, we've already talked about and seen it before, so may as well.
Who killed an Avenger? That's the first sentence. Find out here is the second. That's all we could say. We've already talked about this cover.
Yes, and we don't want to talk about it again.
No.
This next one is Avengers Solo number 5, written by Jen Van Meter and art by Roger Robinson.
That name sounds familiar, Robinson.
Jackie Robinson?
No, the artist actually sounds familiar.
Oh.
It's a nice cover.
Very nice. It's like ready for battle, but in serious mode. I just like to see that in the cover.
Oh, he was the artist that was on Azrael back in the day.
But I just like how the cover is just shown, like the way it's just seriousness. Because, you know, in a comic book, you want to just see more action and seriousness. And with all that, I would say that would be a pretty awesome comic book. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know about you, if we might have the same or different ways of looking at it.
Oh, and he also did. Oh, and he also does. Was doing Dr. Solar, and he was also in Batman: Gotham Knights. That's why I know his name.
Oh wow! So he's been around.
Yes.
But yeah, check it out. All right, next up, Captain America and Bucky, number 627, written by Ed Brubaker, and art by Francesco Francavilla. Villa. I was gonna get to Villa.
It's gonna change to Captain America and Hawkeye soon.
Well, the way I've been hearing about the team-ups and all that. But, really great. Like Chris said about Hawkeye, I'm really not too sure if he should or should not be teamed up with Captain America, but who knows, maybe it could be a good and or a bad thing. We'll just have to see as the time goes on in the comic book world.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, next is Deadpool number 51. Written by Daniel Way and art by Salva Espin. Or Espion. However it's said. Now this comic I've been
waiting for this.
It looks funny. Like Deadpool is just like lying across the claws and it just doesn't bother him. It's like nothing could bother Deadpool.
No, but you know he's going to piss Wolverine off in this issue somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's had in the past, so I can't say he hasn't. Alright, next, Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz, number 5. Does this picture...
Written by...
Oh, sorry. Written by Eric Sanoor and art by Scooty Young. Okay.
Scotty Young, maybe.
Or Scotty Young. Now, is it just me, or does this picture remind you of Nightmare Before Christmas rather than...
A wee bit, and that cat's eyes like, meow.
Either it's scared to death, or it just wants out of there. Because, believe me, I wouldn't want to stay there in that creepy place. Not at all.
Yes.
Okay, next, Fantastic Four number 603.
I wish this would end already, this story, so this way I could stop collecting it.
Yep, written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Steve Epting.
Epning.
Or Epning. I gotta get with these names. With the Fantastic Four, after issue 600, it's going downhill with the way of just everything's changing, you know?
It's going right back to where it was 2 years ago.
I just don't like how they gotta leave Spider-Man behind because...
No, he's gonna join the FF, watch. I promise you. He's not leaving.
Well, I hope not, because he's one of the people that could really be a good helper. Alright, next. Magneto, Not a Hero, number 4.
Magneto versus his clone.
Yep, written by Scotty Young and art by Clay Mann.
Oh man.
Oh man. Clone versus
Original.
original. This would be a pretty intense battle, and the battle of the ages, would you say, in clone history?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, anybody want to see a Magneto clone match? There you have it, right there.
I could take it or leave it, to be quite honest.
Well, we'll see how that issue goes then.
Mm.
Alright, continuing on, we got Marvel Adventures Spider-Man number 23, written by Paul Tubin, and art by Matteo Lally, Rob DiSalvo, and Ale Garza. Wow, Ale Garza's in many,
Why is Modar getting ready to eat Spider-Man?
Yeah, at first I thought that looked like Galactus, you know, the way it looked and everything, but then I saw it was MODOK. But,
You mean then I corrected you when you were saying it off camera?
don't correct me.
I'm not correcting
Don't
you.
correct me.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, interesting issue.
That's the younger readers' version of Spider-Man.
Right, so to all the young readers, there's a comic book just for you.
There you go, Mike.
Very funny, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, next up, Mighty Thor number 11.
Finally, with a beautiful cover.
Yes, because this cover was written by...
This
Matt-
this comic was written by Mac Fraction.
Okay, thank you.
And Pasquale.
Matt Fraction and artist by
Ferry.
Pasquale Ferry. Who's doing Marvel?
Me.
No.
Oh, come on, Mike. I wanted to do more. Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah.
Thor's back, baby.
Yeah, and God of Thunder, people out there better watch out, because he's got a hammer, and
He's ready to hammer some nails.
And
Mike's head.
you know, you gotta add insult to injury all the time.
Not insult to injury. You're the one that's been sick for so long, and if I get sick because
Now,
my nose feels
wait
stuffy,
a minute. I was
My
only
nose
sick
feels
for
stuffy.
2 days.
my nose feels stuffy. If I get
Are we
sick,
doing the comic rundown? Or are we
Yes.
doing Jerry Springer?
I'm just saying. Hey, Jerry Springer has nothing to do with this. I'm just saying, if I get sick, I will kill you.
Moving on now to something else. New Mutants, number 38, written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, and art by David Lopez.
Interesting cover.
It is very interesting, and
But I'm not into Cyclops' side, so I really don't care.
oh, if this is Cyclops, then let's move on. I have none to
You
say.
insist.
Yep, I really do insist. Okay, looking over that. Secret Avengers, number 23, written by Rick Remender and art by Gabriel Hardman.
Who are the descendants?
That is the question, which will be featured in this comic book.
And Venom joins the team. in this.
Please tell me it's not the Flash Thompson.
Look at the cover and you tell me.
Oh, it is. Why?
Please tell me it's not the
Just-
Flash Thompson. He's the only Venom right now.
Well, Flash Thompson could come back at any time and just, you know, become Venom again? I mean, is that so
Wait,
much
don't you
to
mean Eddie
ask?
Brock?
Eddie Brock, yeah.
I said Flash Thompson.
Eddie Brock, oh god.
Ultimate Comics.
Yes, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, number 7. Written by
Who
Brian
knows?
Michael Bendis. And art by Chris Samney and Carrie Andrews.
I'm glad Pete's clone with breasts is beating the hell out of Miles Morales. Moving on.
Yes, let's move on. Oh my goodness. Next, Uncanny X-Force number 22.
Woo!
Written by Rick Remender,
Again.
once again. And art by Robbie Rodriguez and Rafael Grampa. Sounds like
Grampe.
Grandpa. Oh, Grampe?
Because it
Oh,
has a little asterisk over it. I think that's what it means anyway.
Oh.
I don't know!
I didn't see that. But anyway. Wait a minute. Didn't we see this issue or cover
No.
somewhere?
No.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought we did.
No.
Well, anyway, guys, Uncanny X-Force has been going...
Really good. The artwork's been going good. The story has been amazing thus far.
Absolutely. That I could definitely agree with you with.
It's finally something you know. Something you won't agree with me with.
Yes. Venom. Number 13.3.
Red Hulk cover.
Written by, once again, Rick Remender.
Holy crap, Rick!
And art by Julian Tatino. Or Tutino.
Mr. Remender, my God, sir, you are writing 3 books.
He must be very interested in the Marvel Universe. But yeah, Venom.
Boy, after reading this last week's issue, this week's issue better pick it up.
Well, I mean, well, then again, Red Hulk. Well, then, you know, Red Hulk can pick its ups and downs, depending on the comic
Honestly,
he's
it's
in.
all in the cards, my brother. It's all in the cards.
Alright. Next up, Wolverine and the X-Men #6, written by Jason Aaron, and art by Nick Bradshaw.
Both awesome people.
Very awesome.
And the funny thing is, the quote, things get worse.
And when things get worse, things really do
Wolverine
get worse.
snicks.
Yeah, and there's that kid that's in there. And he's like, what's going on here?
That's Kid Omega.
Yes. It's just funny the way
Idiot.
I looked at it. Alright, next, X-Men Legacy number 262. Written by Mike Carey and art by Cow Fam and Clayman. That's Rogue.
Yeah, and she's
Correct.
pretty beaten up.
Oh my goodness. That is one beat up chick. And that's not...
You have to call her a chick.
Is she, okay, a beat up woman? Why can't I use a different term? I mean, does it hurt to use a different term once in a while?
You want to term a punch?
No. So let's go on to the next one.
You're the one reading Legacy, so you're the one that could have said if it was good or bad.
Well, it's turning out really good, though, but I want to see what happened in that comic book. Alright, next up, X-Men number 25, written by Victor Geskler, and art by Will Conrad and Heidi Granos. Or Granuev.
Storm, don't kill her. She's innocent. Kind of.
Innocent, I tell you. But, are they in the church?
Maybe.
So, yeah.
Looks very interesting. I like the way they actually colored the cover.
Yep. Alright, and last from Marvel is Deadpool Max 2 number 5. This was written by David Lapham and art by Kyle Baker. Wow.
Get it, Deadpool.
Get it indeed. Tuxedo and lots of...
Tuxedo mask.
Yeah, we'll go with that, just to make it...
Yeah, that's the Hydra symbol in the background.
Oh, wow, I did not notice that until now. Oh, good eye.
I have a good eye.
Yes, you do. And that'll be all for Marvel this week. Wow, with getting over that fever, I'm glad I actually got through it.
Yes, so am I.
Alright, so that's all for
I'm not
Marvel.
get sick with you.
No. So, Chris will conclude this week with DC, so brother, take it away.
Alright, let's start off with this appealing company.
Mhm.
All-Star Western number 6, written by Justin Gray and Jim Palmiotti?
Miyadi, I think.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And art by
Meridat.
and Bill Winslade.
And once, I'm gonna say this again.
Yeah, really not much can be said about All-Star Western. Mike just didn't like it. Cover looks really nice. Giant bat attacking Jonah Hex. It actually says that Jonah Hex fights a giant bat to the death.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. They're gonna go through the cave to get back. It doesn't make sense. And you told me something about All-Star Western that I'm not really approved of. You know, something you said.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Next up, Aquaman number 6, written by Jeff Johns and art by Ivan Reis. And the question on this is, who sank Atlanta? Atlanta. Very good. Who sank Atlanta, Georgia? No. Oh man.
I really want to find out who did it, because it's the intensity that's building up here of who did it and why.
Yeah, Mira's gonna go find some answers. It looks like very nice cover though. Hopefully it won't sink the comic because it's with Mira and not Aquaman. But I'm sure Aquaman will have some part in this. I'm sure Mira's not going to be like the only one in it. And watch me be completely wrong. But anyway,
Yes.
Next up, Batman the Dark Knight, number 6. We've seen this cover before. This is just a redo of a cover we've seen already. Beside the point, though, written by Paul Jenkins and art by David Finch and Richard Friend. Oh, he must be a friendly person. But anyway, we've seen this cover before. What's the point?
I have no comment to say about this. It's just already seen, already done it.
I mean, it's a nice remaking, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next up, Blackhawks, number 6, going to be ending soon. Written by Mike Costa and art by Graham Nolan, Norm Rapman, and Ken Lashley.
And once again, we're dealing with
Lime tentacles, woman shooting lime tentacles.
or an
and
octopus or squid,
whatever.
something that's long.
And a pink background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either. So let's not bother and go into Flash, number 6. Written by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato. And art is also by Francis Manapul.
Not Brian.
Francis.
Yeah.
Francis.
Yeah, but
Where'd
you said
get
also
Brian?
Yeah, but you said also with the writer.
Written by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato.
Yeah, but you said art.
And art also by Francis Manapul.
Oh, alright.
Very nice cover, though. I don't like the Flash holding a gun, really, but I don't know.
Heroes shouldn't hold guns. They bring them to justice. No violence.
Yes. Okay, next up, Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 6, written by Gail Simone and Ethan Van Sciver. Ethan Van Sciver is also the artist, and it's also drawn by Yildiria Sinar. I can't pronounce that for the life of me. I'm sorry, people, if we're pronouncing these names terribly, but I'm sorry, some of these names are just unpronounceable in my opinion. Okay,
Riot.
Big Bang.
Very destructive.
Oh, yeah. Okay, next up, one of my favorite Green Lantern books, Green Lantern New Guardians number 6, written by Anthony Bedard, and art by Tyler Kirkham and Robert Kirkman. Not to be confused with the writer from Image, Robert Kirkman. I think, anyway. Now I'm curious to click his name and find out.
Yeah, but Green Lantern is actually
They did Amazing Fantasy, Wolfman.
yeah, his stories have been very amazing. Even the art is just beautiful.
Cover looks great. I want to know why all of a sudden they gave Kyle Rayner a 5 o'clock shadow. Like the past 3 years he's had it.
I don't know.
Next, a book I don't understand. Well, now I know because of the cover, but a book I still really just can't understand why it wasn't canceled. I, Vampire number 6, guest starring Batman, written by Joshua Hale Flakoff, and art by Andrea Sorrentino and Jenny Frisson.
And once again, Batman is in another DC comic book. But why an I, Vampire?
I don't know, and they're fighting
It's
vampires.
worthless.
Very interesting how all vampires are all of a sudden pink.
Ew. That makes it even...
Mhm.
Ah.
Mike, you like pink vampires, don't you?
No, I wasn't saying ah with that. I was just saying ah for the next one. That's
Next, for Michael, is Justice League Dark, written by Peter Milligan, and art by Mikhail Janin and Ryan Sook.
yeah, 6th
Soak.
issue. Yes, Sook. Mhm.
Soak.
Soak,
2 O's
Sook.
is an O. 1 O is a U. Don't you know your vowels?
A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y.
Not to be confused with your IQ. Okay.
Whatever. Just
I love you, bro!
yeah, just continue.
Next up, another one of your books, Mike. The Raid.
Finally.
Number 3. And it's written by Justin Gray, Jim Palamani, and art by Richard Perotti, Jamal Engel, and it says Jamal Ingle again, so I don't know why, but Jamal Ingle.
I have got to see if he's going to save his girlfriend from that big spaceship that took her
Well,
away.
it looks like he's getting attacked by something with big claws.
Oh my goodness. That is something I'm looking forward to reading.
Looks really, really
Next
good.
to Justice League Dark, that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next, we have The Savage Hawkman #6. Written by Tony S. Daniel and art by Philip Tan. Oh boy. Looks like somebody's getting his butt kicked.
And very badly.
Mm-hmm. Artwork looks very nice, though, I must say that.
And very dramatic with the scenery. I like it.
Hawkman comes face to face with Jim Caradoc, a.k.a. the Gentleman Ghost. But if he's a gentleman, then why is he beating up Hawkman? Oh, wait, the Gentleman Ghost. I wonder if that's one of Penguin's rejects that we saw in the Batman The Dark Knight.
That might be it. That might be.
Oh, that makes sense. Next up, Superman #6. Oh, of course. Anyway, it's written by George Perez, art by Jesus Miron, and George Perez again.
Oh my god, I don't approve of
Well,
this.
how many comics are we gonna see where Superman looks like he beat up his cousins, and you know, it looks like he's some type of evil basking in like some type of evil glow when he's really not.
This isn't setting a good example of the Superman generation. This is
No, Mike,
just-
they've done this cover before. I mean, look, I agree with you, and I love the old Superman, but I have to defend. In this case, there have been other covers where they have Superman doing something like this just to throw people off, and then you get in the book and it's like, oh, that wasn't Superman, that was a clone, or that wasn't Superman, that was the Parasite, or that wasn't Superman, he was mind control. You know what I mean? So I've seen these covers so many times, it's just boring, even though it's in the New 52. Next, Teen Titans #6, written by Scott Lobel, and art by Brett Booth and Norman Rapmund. They're at Star Labs, and Static Shock, I guess, is the guest star, because you can see him in the background.
Oh wow.
Looks like he's trying to help out Kid Flash. Also says Kid Flash's new costume debuts in this issue.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Something I might want to check out. I like Red Robin, and
Something to look
could
at
be
and look
good.
forward
Could
to.
be good. We'll see if Superboy ends up joining the team at some point. Alright, so leaving the Teen Titans, especially after getting beaten up by Superboy in the last issue.
Yeah.
Next up, Voodoo #6 with the Yin Yang with the Demonite. Written by Ron Mars, who is better known for Darkness and Witchblade and stuff that comes out of Image. And art by Sammy Basri and John Tyler Christopher. Hey, you have my name, you have my support. Interesting cover. I like I said, I love the yin yang effect thingy, sort of. It looks like yin yang, at least. I could be wrong, but whoever did this cover is really did good with it.
I would say so.
Mhm.
Definitely.
All right, and finally this week, coming out of actually not just DC but Vertigo, we have American Vampire 24, written by Scott Snyder. I was about to say Scott Snyder written by Scott Snyder, and art by Jordan Burnett and Raphael Albuquerque. Albuquerque? Really? Albuquerque? Okay, whatever. Interesting cover.
Disturbing, kinda, but
A little disturbing. How do you get your lips so red? Eh, 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 eh.
I don't even know what to say about this, cause yeah.
I don't even know what to say
I
about it.
don't
But
either.
Ron Mars, not Ron Mars, Scott Snyder is a very good artist, writer. That's 2 mistakes for the price of 1.
Eh.
And honestly, he does an awesome job on Batman. I'm sure he does a great job with American Vampire, but yeah. Alright guys, so that concludes the week of the 22nd.
Yep. And also just want to thank the people out there who have messaged Chris to hope I get well soon. I really appreciate you guys out there who have sent that.
And we apologize if this sounds a little boring this time around. We are shooting this early in the morning. I'm tired. I just woke up. Mike's still feeling there. Hopefully next week we'll get some energy back into these reviews and be able to give you guys 100%. Also, in the comments below, comment anything you'd like. If we didn't know about a comic book that you read and know about, feel free to leave a comment about it, because people who watch our videos, I'm sure, are going to go down in the comments and see if somebody's reading the books we don't know about. So please comment below. Let us know. If anybody out there is getting No Place Like Home, please comment me and let me know how that book is. Comment below any comments about anything. Feel free to. And we'll see you guys next week for another rundown.
Alright.
Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.
See you soon. Keep reading.